Come with me and let me show you what it's like to live in the Netherlands. I moved here a year ago, and now as the second year starts, I was thinking maybe I should document my life and what it's like to live here as an expat in a series called Hello Holland. So where else would I start other than the place that I currently call home? So let me show you what it's like to live in a traditional Dutch house. Like this one. So come in. In the past year, I've been living in this apartment in the heart of the Jordan neighborhood. Somebody told me that the name comes from the French word Jardin, which means garden, because the streets are named after different plants. This area was developed in the 17th century as a poor working class neighborhood. Okay, I just looked up a few questions using ChatGPT. If you have additional ones, just drop them in the comments below. I try to respond. Why did you decide to move to Amsterdam? Well, it's because of work. I was working for a company back at home for several years. I saw this opportunity, I applied, I got it. It was a one-year assignment, and now that 1 year is over and I got offered a contract here, so I'm going to stay. I know I am extremely lucky to have this apartment for myself, but living in a historic building has its disadvantages too. During the Second World War, most of the cities in the Netherlands have been destroyed, and I totally value that they want to preserve these houses. Ultimately, these give Amsterdam its unique charm. With my friends, we are often joking that Dutch were amazing at building ships and conquering the world, but building houses, not so much. Many years ago, families used to live in one-room apartments. So here, 2 apartments were converted into one. I have a kitchen and a living room and a small bathroom on the first floor, and I have 2 bedrooms and an additional bathroom on the second floor. So I'm on the first floor, however, there are apartments on the ground floor too. And by ground floor, I mean street level. Some of the apartments have their living rooms, kitchens, or even bedrooms facing the streets. And when you walk in the city, you could easily see people cooking, playing with their kids, or watching TV. It's crazy. I try to avoid it because I feel like I'm a creep. What has been the most significant cultural difference you've experienced since living in Amsterdam? Well, the food, I believe. I like to eat. And for me, for us, both lunch and dinner is usually a warm meal. But I've noticed that Dutchies usually eat sandwiches for lunch. And sandwiches are available everywhere. Sandwiches are the least thing that I want to eat. That's the last thing. I would rather eat anything else than sandwiches. This apartment looks really good. It was renovated and it's furnished. I have a proper kitchen, dishwasher, washing machine and dryer. So basically everything that I might need. And everything is pretty close. The city center of Amsterdam is like 15 minutes away on foot and 5 by bike. Can you share some tips for getting around the city, including public transportation and cycling? It's true, everybody bikes. And I also have a bike. I have a Swap Fits, which is like 23 euros per month, and it has an insurance, so if it gets stolen, you got a new one. It is the cheapest way of transportation and also the fastest. But also Amsterdam has a pretty good public transport as well. Buses, trams, metro. I mostly use it in winter. And yet again, Amsterdam is not a big city. In half an hour you can get from one end to another one by bike, just for reference. So this is the living room, nothing extra. However, you probably noticed the DIY solution for hanging my curtains. It is a rental, so I could not put on curtain rods, so I had to improvise. If you look out of the window, you probably don't see, but the opposite building is like 3 meters away. And I am used to having at least some kind of privacy. It was strange for me, but somehow Dutch people don't like curtains. There are several stories Why? Some say it's because they have nothing to hide, others say it's to get as much light into the room as possible. However, I heard an interesting story. Hence, Amsterdam was a port city. Men were working on ships, leaving their wives at home for long periods of time. So in order to make sure no funny business happens while the men of the house are away, they didn't put on curtains so they could check on each other. How do you deal with the weather in Amsterdam, especially during the rainy and colder seasons? You will definitely need several raincoats and coats. You always have to be prepared that it's going to rain. It rarely goes above 20 or 25 degrees, even during summer. In winter, I think it's manageable. And if you're coming from a country like Spain or Italy, where the summers are extremely hot and the winters are not so cold, then you are going to struggle. You are going to struggle because sun is something which rarely comes and everybody really appreciates. Okay, let's go up. And by the way, stairs. Here in Amsterdam, the houses are pretty narrow and therefore the stairs are really steep and the steps are kind of small. From the street level to my apartment, I also have to use a spiral staircase, which I believe is the worst. So this is the bigger bedroom which I use. Once again, nothing extra. One thing that I really didn't like was these windows. You cannot open or close them properly. Also, you cannot clean them from the outside. You might think that I'm crazy for always talking about the windows, but can you imagine how expensive it was to heat the apartment in winter? This is one of the reasons why I am moving. How have you found the cost of living in Amsterdam compared to your home country? It is expensive, it is really expensive, and you have to be cautious where you're spending your money on. I have an application where I track all the expenses I have, and it helps me to keep within my budget. And this is the smaller bedroom. It was nice to have one when family and friends came to visit. I didn't know how long I'm going to stay here, so I wanted to make sure that I make the most of it. And this is the bathroom, pretty spacious, and I also have a bathtub. Finding an apartment here in Amsterdam is extremely hard. First of all, there are very few apartments available and the demand is high, which results in extremely high renting prices. The contracts are here different too. I believe after 2 years, the tenants have extra protection, meaning they cannot be evicted from the apartment, so usually the contracts are maximum for 2 years. And finally, can you share a memorable cultural experience or festival you've attended? Ooh, it has been an amazing year, but there are 2 events that you should put in your calendar if you move here to the Netherlands. First is King's Day, the birthday of the king, which is a huge celebration. Music everywhere, people are dancing and drinking on the streets, everybody dressed up in orange. That's epic. And similarly to it's Pride, where everybody is celebrating inclusivity and equality and just being humans. I really enjoyed both of them. Well, this is it. In a month I will be moving into my new place, which I am so excited about. And I also know what to expect from Amsterdam, so if you are interested in my adventures in the Netherlands, subscribe to my channel. And also if you have questions, just drop them in the comments below, here or on TikTok or Instagram. See you in the next one. Ciao!